Title track from the CD we're giving away today, much to John's chagrin. Not that it's the title track, but that we're giving away the profits. It's John Proulx, The Best Thing for You Would Be Me. There was a story behind that song. I don't remember what it was.
The story behind the song is, well, it's an Irving Berlin tune, first of all.
Right.
But I have, on this record, I had Max Jazz, the record label I'm with, they put out the CD, but then I had some additional funding by these very nice couple, Susan and Dan Tom.
Right.
And as part of my thank you to them, I said I could, dedicate a song to you. And so I said, why don't you list 10 of your favorite tunes, and I'll record one of them. And I was looking through the list, and I said, oh yeah, that tune. Because Diana Krall's recorded it, I think a couple other people, but it's not that well known.
No.
But it's a great tune.
That's the great thing about, and we have this conversation probably with everybody who comes in here, and maybe you and I have had the conversation. I don't remember, but not that conversation.
Yeah,
I'm much too young to be your father. No, when you do a song that is of the Great American Songbook, of that that style and so on, but when you do one that isn't that widely recorded, I mean, it's like. We had the conversation with Rod Stewart when he first started working on the Great American Songbook stuff. He said, "Well, there's certain songs that you have to do that
right.
are, and everybody does those songs." He said, "What's fun is to do something that like he was real proud of himself for doing the what he called the lost lyrics for Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered."
Oh, right.
Lorenz Hart wrote like 17 different verses to that song, and Rod was real proud because things were a little more conservative back then.
Sure.
And Lorenz Hart, like Cole Porter, wrote some rather racy lyrics for
that time.
Yeah, that a lot of people didn't record. Ella is the only person of that generation that a big name that I know that recorded some of the racier lyrics. But Rod was real proud of him, so he and Cher, in fact, if you listen to their version of Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered, they you looking for my copy? Oh. Just say what you want.
The remote. He's not on camera.
Okay.
I haven't been on camera all morning either.
Well, that's a good thing. We didn't break the camera that way. But anyway, Rod and Cher kind of giggled as they were doing the thing. So, but the whole point is that when you do a song that's not so well known, that fits, it kind of broadens the whole thing. It adds some variety to the format, and so I love the fact that you picked that song.
And I think a song like that, it's like a song that you've heard before, but and that's what I like, is that you find these songs and you say, oh yeah, that tune. I just haven't heard it in a long time, and you revisit it, and then to me, it's like how you do the arrangement to make the song sound like fresh and new. Yeah, I like to do that with tunes that are maybe well known, but do them in a slightly different way.
You did that with a song on one of your previous albums. This one was on. Wait a minute, I gotta look because I'm not telling you yet what song it is.
Okay.
It was on Moon and Sand, and this is a song that most people have done as a ballad, from Billie Holiday to Amy Winehouse and many other artists. John Proulx, There Is No Greater Love on MartiniInTheMorning.com. MartiniInTheMorning.com. It's John Proulx from Moon and Sand.
Yeah.
But that's a great example, and we do that on that song comes up on Twin Spin Tuesday now and then, because we do the where we play two different versions, and that's a great example of taking a song that's generally done pretty similarly.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, Amy Winehouse's version and Billie Holiday's are pretty similar. So that and talk about artists that are miles apart. So when you do something like that, where do you come up with an idea to do a song so opposite of the way it's traditionally been done?
Usually what I do is I think about mixing up styles on a CD, because I don't generally like to do all slow songs or all fast songs. I like to mix up the tempo. Right. So I think I want a samba, and so I start going through songs and say, can I do this in this style? And I go through and some songs fit better than others in those styles, and that's kind of how I get to that point, and then the arrangement comes out of that.
Are you have shows coming up? People can see you live?
I have several coming up, actually. The one that I think you guys are coming to on the February 13th at Vitello's. So it's like a pre-Valentine's Day thing.
It'll be
8
interesting.
p.m.
That room's going to be very warm that night because the night before at Vitello's, they're doing a big burlesque show for Valentine's week.
Ooh.
Yeah, very.
Maybe there'll be some like feather boas left behind or something.
Could be. You could see John make his boa premiere.
Yeah.
So the 13th at Vitello's.
Yeah, and that's going to be.
You
with,
got some shows between. Oh, go ahead.
With Chuck Berghoff on bass, who plays on all my records, bass player, and Peter Erskine on drums, who I've never played with before, but he's an amazing drummer. So all you drummers out there, come check him out. He's awesome. And then before the next week, I'm going to Seattle and Portland. So I'm going up to Edmonds Community College next Wednesday, and I'm doing some clinics with their vocal group Sound Station, and then doing a concert with them. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
She's talking to herself.
Yes, she is. Anyway, so I'm sorry, Portland?
Yeah, Seattle first.
So, yeah.
Doing a concert with a vocal group up there called Sound Station at Edmonds Community College, and that concert is next Thursday night. And then I go to Portland, and I've been doing a bunch of house concerts recently, so I'm going up to Portland to do a house concert
That's
on
a
that
big deal.
Friday.
I'm hearing more and more people are doing house concerts like that.
I like them because they're intimate. You're not dealing with club owners and people having to come in and spend a big cover and buy food and drinks and everything else. Usually the host of whatever house concert it is, they supply some $2 chuck, although now it's what, $2.49.
$2.49 chuck, yeah.
$2.49 chuck, and some cheese or whatever, and then people, maybe $20 or $30 to cover, but you're there for the afternoon or the evening, and you get to meet the artist, and it's really intimate. Someone at the door.
John Proulx on martiniinthemorning.com. It's funny, I'd never been to one of those house parties, and I think you did one at the first one we ever went to in Pico Rivera. I'm trying to think of their names. I'm going to forget their name. Oh my gosh, I've known these people from our old radio station. They did they did one when our old radio station went off the air, and they invited Karen and I, and we only got to go for the tail end of it, but it was really cool. A lot of really amazing performers there, and I'd never seen this done before. I mean, these people have they've got like a mailing list for their friends.
Yeah.
And they rotate. They do it in different homes, different hosts, and so on.
Right.
And they had tons of food, and anyway, so we go into their house, and I was just amazed. And I asked, I'm almost positive you did you do one in Pico Rivera?
Maybe, I don't know.
A few months ago?
No, not a few months ago.
Somebody I know played at their house recently. Anyway,
it's not the A-frame, is it? That's a concert here that they do at a house up in the hills, and they call it the A-frame because it's an A-frame house, and the lady, takes out all the chairs in the living room and everything, and brings in different artists.
It's not that one, but I'll think of their names in a minute. But the amazing thing, so they're kind of telling me the history of this tour, basically, where they host 1 month and somebody else hosts the next month and so on. And I said, wow, well, who have you had? They said, well, right here in this corner we had Diana Krall.
Oh, okay, yeah. I did play there. I know what you're talking about. Gillis,
Jill and
Gilles
and his wife
is like also a similar
Gilda or something.
Yeah, exactly. They had Diana Krall there a long time ago. He's got pictures up on his wall of all the different people that have played there.
It's an amazing thing. What a great idea.
I played there with Luther Hughes and Barry Zweig a few months ago.
Yeah. John Proulx on martiniinthemorning.com. You were talking about the guys you're going to be playing with at Vitello's, and you mentioned the drummer. What's his name again? Peter
Erskine.
And the bass player. If the name sounds at all familiar, this is him. From Nancy Sinatra's These Boots Are Made for Walking. That's right. Chuck Berghoff, one of his many famous bass lines, among that the Barney Miller theme. And you actually did a tribute to Chuck.
Yeah, on my newest CD, I wrote a song called The Chuckster for Chuck, and the beginning is the bass line from Nancy Sinatra's These Boots Are Made for Walking.
You didn't know which way I was going with that, did you? Chuck Berghoff being honored here.
Here's to the Chuck man.
Here's to the Chuckster in honor of Chuck Berghoff. He's become kind of a, what would you, if you have,
legend?
Well, no, for you.
Oh, for me,
Yes,
he's been
he's a
he's
legend.
like a father figure to me. He's been a huge supporter, and ever since I started using him from my first record, it's funny. I called him up the first time before I knew him and asked him to do the CD, and he didn't know who I was from Adam. And after he had the rehearsal, he was all excited, and we ended up recording together. And ever since we did the first CD, he's been a big supporter, and he's the one who gave Michael Feinstein my first CD, and that turned into a gig in New York. And so.
Wow.
He's been really great, and he plays with all these amazing people. He plays with Streisand and Bublé and everybody. So he's all over the place, and he's 72, I think.
72 or 73.
Yeah.
And then new child. No. What? How old is his youngest kid?
I think his daughter's. I want to say
8, 10.
I think close to that, something like that, 10 or 11.
Guy's got more energy than me. I'm glad mine are grown and gone.
Yeah.
I only have to chase grandkids now, and only if I want to. It's martiniinthemorning.com. You did some cool duets on this album. In fact, I was thinking about you over the holidays when Apple started advertising the new
I know,
the
I
Mini.
saw that. Yeah.
They used the original, which
Two
was
of a
that
kind.
was that your inspiration?
Yeah, that was the inspiration.
Johnny Mercer and
Right,
Bobby
Bobby
Darin. Yeah, they did an album of duets, and probably the most famous of them is "Two of a Kind," which is a great song for two guys to do. I mean, how many two-guy duets really are there?
There aren't that many, and that's when I was asked Michael Feinstein to sing a duet with me on this CD. He said he'd love to, and I just said, do you have any suggestions of songs you would want? And this was one of the ones that he suggested. But there aren't that many, like you said.
John
between two
Proulx
guys.
and Michael Feinstein on Martini in the Morning. John Proulx and Michael Feinstein on Martini in the Morning, 9:45 at the West Quarter, 4:10 a.m. Pacific Time. John Proulx in the studio with us. I got to take care of our sponsors. I almost forgot. Let's see. This hour, Susan Strawn in Tampa, Florida, got heartburn. LearnAboutBarretts.com. That's the website. LearnAboutBarretts.com. I've been reading up on it. It's a little scary. Or you can call 800-514-2993. Thank you, Susan Strawn in Tampa, Florida. And Universal Patio Furniture, right across the street, carrying patio furniture all year round, serving Los Angeles since 1939. Check out their website. It's Unifurn, UNIFURN, is in Universal Furniture. UNIFURN.com, or if you decide to stop by and look at the patio furniture, come on and see us because they're right across the street. It's martiniinthemorning.com. When I talk about John Proulx, I say talented singer, songwriter, jazz pianist. In that order. Which order would you put it in?
Wow, good question. It's hard to say because I started first on piano, and that was what I majored in school and everything. So I consider myself a pianist, but it's kind of like with Nat King Cole and Diana Krall. As soon as they started singing, that's what people respond to more.
Sure.
So then I think now I'm becoming more known as a singer and less as a piano player. But then I still do gigs where I just play piano, like I'm playing a little bit with Natalie Cole as one of her piano players, and I like to do both. So sometimes I'm just accompanying other singers, sometimes I'm singing. And then the writing thing has kind of been developing over the years. So I think that's probably ultimately what's going to be the most sustaining is writing for other artists.
I thought about you the other day when we had Roger Kellaway in the studio, legendary.
He's amazing
composer, and we just saw him with Steve Tyrell and Judith Hill in a thing called Visions of America, and it's Marilyn Allen Bergman wrote. Roger set this whole photo thing. Joe Sohm has been taking for 3 decades. He's been out to photograph America. His original concept is how do you photograph democracy, and he wanted to do so. 30 years he spent out shooting pictures, and it's a beautiful show. Roger's set it to music, and they did it with Boston Pops last year, and and Philadelphia Pops before that. And anyway, so Roger was here in the studio, and he mentioned, he was talking about other people that he had written with.
Yeah,
he wrote a song. I want to say it was for Carmen McRae back in the 70s, 70s, I think it was. And he wrote it with a guy I've heard you talk about, K.
Lawrence Dunham. Yes, he's one of the lyricists that I work with, and he's written some songs on this CD. The Chuckster is one of them.
Oh, cool.
Lovers for Dreamers, Jogger Chronicles, Push Hands Anna. And so he's written some stuff with Johnny Mandel as well.
So you do the music, he does lyrics. Is that the deal?
Yeah, and then I have another lyricist that I work with named Chan Berry, who I believe is listening right now. Hey, Chan. And Chan and I write a lot together. We wrote a song for Nancy Wilson on her album that got a Grammy on a song called These Golden Years. The album's called Turn to Blue. And then on this record, we wrote a song together called Before We Say Goodnight. And it's kind of a Latin, Brazilian kind of a tune. And I think it'd be perfect for the soundtrack of Rio. So if anyone knows who's booking the music for that, let's get this going.
John Proulx on martiniinthemorning.com. MartiniInTheMorning.com. It's 9:55 in the West. That's a song you wrote with
Chan Berry.
Chan Berry, who's
lyricist. Yeah.
Did you wave?
I don't know if he waved or not. Yeah, I think so. Hey, hi Chan.
It's fun being able to do the. We'll have somebody in and they'll say and they'll be looking at their phone. Somebody. Yeah. I mean, it's like the technology changes.
Little
everything.
Big Brother, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's weird, and you have to really think about what you're doing because I compare us having a camera in the studio on a normal day, and when we have a guest in, it's different. But on a normal day, I compare it to NASCAR. Do you watch much NASCAR?
No.
Okay, but
I am from the Midwest, but I don't watch NASCAR.
When you watch NASCAR, you're really watching for one thing. You're watching for the crash.
For the crash, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what people tune in here for. I think they're waiting to see it.
They're waiting if I fall off of this chair.
Mother Miriam has fallen off the stool. And
I did.
Yeah, she fell off the chair, and it was.
We made a whole production about it.
And is there slow motion on this too?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, man, that would be sweet.
But I think they're just waiting for somebody to fall off their chair. They're waiting for Brad to stand up with his pants unzipped, or pick my nose, or
Do you forget that it's on sometimes and do some crazy stuff?
No, nothing crazy. But we did have that happen once. We were at Vitello's a few weeks ago, right before Christmas, and Renee Olstead was there with us, and I stood up to have a picture taken, and my pants were unzipped. So you got to be careful when you got cameras around.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is that they can let you know right away, right? On chat.
Oh my gosh, yeah. If I do anything, they'll our chat lounge
zip it up or something like that.
Yeah. Well, they say that often to Mother Miriam. Zip it. It's Martini in the Morning. It's MartiniInTheMorning.com. Again, thanks to our sponsors this hour, Susan Strawn, Tampa, Florida. Learn about Barrett's.com. Check that out or call 800-514-2993. And Universal Patio Furniture, kind of catty corner from us. I'm going to surprise Karen with a new umbrella for our deck while she's in Boise this next time around. She likes to come back to now when she's in Boise because it's been so doggone cold.
Yeah,
real cold snap up there, and in fact the pipes are still frozen. They've been frozen for about 2 weeks.
Oh wow!
But anyway, this time when she comes back, I'll have a new patio umbrella and remind her she's back in sunny Southern California.
That's right.
But Universal Patio Furniture, 11055 Ventura Boulevard in Studio City, California. Check them out online, UNIFURN.com. Universal Patio Furniture. John Proulx in the studio. I know Vitello's here, but you've got, and you're doing these house parties that you do.
Yeah,
you don't. It's like you're not responsible to promote those. The people that are hosting them, they invite their friends.
Yeah, I mean, usually I send out a mailer if I'm coming to the area or whatever. But yeah, they usually have a list of their friends and they send it out, and they're pretty loyal. They come to a lot of the different series, and so I'm doing one on February 8th in Portland. And you can check my website, by the way, for details, because I don't have the addresses of all these places. The website's johnproulx.com, JOHNPROULX.com, just like it sounds. But it's so that's on the 8th, and then the 9th and 10th, I'm going to be doing two house concerts in the Seattle area, one in Camino Island and one in Auburn. So anybody out there in those areas, come check me out. Love to meet you.
If the house parties, so if you have contact information on your website,
yeah.
So if the people are open to people that they don't know,
yeah, and I think that's what they're trying to do is grow their list too. Right. So if they're people that are enthusiasts, just go to the website and check it out.
What a great idea, though.
Yeah,
I mean, it's funny. We were just talking about Roger Kellaway. First time I ever saw him perform, this guy, and our friends, our listeners know that when Roger was in here, the poor Joe Sohm, who's this wonderful photographer and historian, Roger and I started talking about music, and Joe's over there. Dun, 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 dun. No, he was really good about it. But because it's all we're so into the music. But first time I ever saw Roger was at a place. I don't know if they're doing shows there anymore. In Santa Monica, it's called the Vic.
Oh yeah, because I did my first CD release party there. They're not doing any, at least music.
What a shame, because it was like a house party.
Very cool.
Roger Keller was the first person I ever saw there, and I walked in, and it was like I'm walking into Roger's living room.
Yeah, upstairs, and it's like almost like a living room with
a fireplace and
bookshelves, and they had a white piano.
Yeah.
And
it was very cool, and these house parties. I mean, I think the ability to capture that. That intimacy and that comfort. You're just sitting around.
Which, by the
watching
way, since we have an audience here, if you ever want to hire me for a house party, there you go. Give me send me an email, john@johnproulx.com. If you pay for my flight, give me some money and put me up, I'm there.
And if
I will work.
Pay a little extra, we'll go with him.
That's right.
Mother Miriam.
We'll do a live broadcast. How about that?
Hey, I like it. I like that a lot. We actually do that. We have a thing on Fridays called Happy Hour Live, where we'll go to a business or a home. Actually, most of the ones we've done have been in homes. Excuse me. But we basically salute the arrival of happy hour. They're always on Friday.
Yeah.
We salute the arrival of a happy hour in the Eastern, Central, Mountain, and Pacific time zones. And we, in fact, we're doing one. I think it's on the 8th.
That means you can be drunk all day.
Funny how that happens.
Something to say.
If you're gonna say, grab the microphone.
I'm grabbing the
Bull in a
microphone
china
from John.
shop.
If you do want to hire John, you might say, "Oh no, he's just too expensive." If you don't ask, you don't know.
That's right.
And it would be a wonderful gift to your wife if you have an anniversary, or your daughter, sweet 16, bar mitzvah, anything, because it would be fabulous to have him there. So don't be afraid of the cash part. Just get in touch with John, and he will answer all of your questions.
You might be surprised. John's a little like us. I mean, and you said this jokingly earlier. That you do some of these things, and it supports your jazz habit. I mean, we all, all of us who do this. It's not the lucrative luxury lifestyle you might think,
right?
And so it's probably a little more accessible.
Yeah, and I feel like you get some private parties and you do some things that pay a little bit more so that you don't because the clubs, as you know, aren't in it for making a lot of money, and you're not there to make a ton of money. You're there about the music. So private parties, I do a lot of those to help support, like I say, my jazz habit. So
that's why we do these Happy Hour Live events. Well, for two reasons. One, we want to get out. It's nice to go out and meet people, and eventually we want to be able, as you said, we want to be able to go to different parts of it. I mean, we've got listeners around the world. We've got a guy in Paris, Fred. We call him Fred from France. Mr. Fred from France. He's an architect.
Bonjour.
A friend of his just bought a theater in Paris, and he's trying to get us over there for our Martinis Around the World tour. And so that's part of it. We want to get out, and if we get booked for a couple of those shows, we'll take you with us.
That'd be great. We should do a little tour. That'd be cool.
Fun. It's martiniinthemorning.com. John Proulx. Okay, so one more song before you go. If you had to pick a song, hopefully one that I have most of your music in our library.
Okay, from this record, okay, or from anyone.
That's probably what you want to do, because
I'm trying to promote the new CD.
Let's sell a few.
Let's do I Can't Give You Anything But Love, which is a Jimmy McHugh song, and Judy McHugh, who's a good friend and is the granddaughter of Jimmy McHugh, may be listening right now. Hello, Judy, if you are. And I recorded one of her grandfather's songs, Jimmy McHugh, and you were talking about doing songs
different
and
arrangements.
different arrangements,
Yeah,
and this one
it.
has kind of a modern flair to it, kind of a funky feel. So,
John Proulx on martiniinthemorning.com. Can't Give You Anything But Love. Again, this is what we were talking about earlier, about taking a song everybody knows. I mean, that's really, arguably, that's one of the better known songs in the Great American Songbook. Certainly of the Jimmy McHugh catalog, probably that and I'm in the Mood for Love are probably the two best known. But you totally did something, John Proulx. Yeah,
I try to put my own stamp on every song as much as possible.
Well, yeah, you don't want to. I mean, then that's one of the gripes that you get sometimes playing this music, that so often somebody will take a song that's been done so many times and it just sounds like every other version of it.
Yeah, and sometimes people expect that and want to hear that. I mean, there's definitely traditionalists that feel that it should just be that way, for eternity. But I think for the music to continue, it needs to have some kind of a individual spin on it.
Well, and it gives you the opportunity to use, as you did in that particular song, gives you an opportunity to introduce it to people who may not like a certain style, but they like that. That's and I think that broadens the opportunities for the writer.
Yeah,
in terms
and the listeners. I mean, it really. The more it's exposed, the more people know about it, and the more people then go check out the original music, and then they start liking other standards. So it's all good.
It's very good. It's John Proulx on martiniinthemorning.com on the day before Valentine's Day at Vitello's in Studio City, California. Looking forward to that. And again, Portland and Seattle.
Portland and Seattle coming up, and we're giving away some CDs, right? Sometimes.
And you've autographed them.
I have autographed them, yes.
So if you win John's CD, you will not only get the CD, the best thing for you, but you also get John's scribble.
That's right. If you can read my chicken scratch.
John Proulx on martiniinthemorning.com. I got to take the car home to Karen, so I'm gonna because she's got to go to work today. We're down to one car. It really sucks. Our sponsor again this past hour, Susan Strawn, Tampa, Florida. Learnaboutbarretts.com is the website. If you got heartburn, you need to read about it. And also Universal Patio Furniture, kind of catty cornered from us.
Sounds like you need Enterprise Rent-A-Car for your sponsor.
We need a lot. Yeah, we need.
They're just down the street, right? Enterprise. Or
I
one
think
of those.
So. We need. Yeah, we need something. That's for sure. All right, it's martiniinthemorning.com. John Proulx, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks at Vitello's in Studio City, California. Just after 10 a.m. on the west coast of the United States. Still doing that Thursday thing. Your chance to win John Proulx's CD autographed. Copy of John Proulx's CD, the best thing for you. We'll announce our 10 a.m. winner in just a few minutes on martiniinthemorning.com.